What's going on, folks? Painless. Uh, um, I the judge has allowed evidence from a 2019 arrest of George Floyd. Um, and this is the first time of me seeing this video. I was able to see an extended version of that video. I'll try to put it in the description box. But let me tell you, boy, I swear. Ooh. uh, I tell you, man, that video was something else. I tell you, it was really something else. To hear that man call, see, this is 2019. This incident, not even a year old, in the infamous incident with Officer Chauvin, 46 years old. So George Floyd, at the time of this question, that's in this video that's allowed to be admitted into this case. So I say he would have to have been 45, mid 40s, and to hear a grown man cry to this white woman, and not, it's not so much as just to hear him cry to this white officer. I mean, full on tears. A grown big buck crying to his mama, to this white female police officer. Oh, Painless, what's this got to do? So what if she's white? Who cares? Here's the catch. I've said in the past that many of us in the so-called black community, who were our first forms of authority when we left our parents' home? Who is our second line of authority when we left our parents' home and went to school? The white woman, the white school teacher. And I've even gone so far as to say this. To you black women out here that are complaining to you black women that are my age, in your early 40s, late 30s, and you're wondering why your black son does not really want to deal with or date black women, I revert you to your teacher, your white female teacher now. And I've said before, these teachers now are younger, hotter, and no telling what goes in the minds of these white female teachers. Because the white women, the white female teachers that I had coming up were old and decrepit. You see, what George Floyd did, he fell in line with that. He felt comfortable because he looked at that white police officer first as he looked at her not necessarily for the badge. I'm going to show you how cold this is, folks. He didn't confide and cry for his mama to that white female police officer because she was a member of law enforcement. Oh, no. You got to keep in mind that he had a Caucasian girlfriend, a wife-to-be. I believe they had a child as well. You see, he confided in that white woman because she was a white woman. And he felt totally submissive to her. So like I said, you black women out here wondering why your son will date any type of other woman, young girl, besides a black woman, you're the blame. You're the blame. You want to know why your son is bringing home women who don't look like you? Go in the bathroom and look in the mirror. He wouldn't have done this to no white, to no black officer. And I've said this, the white man's ice in the so-called community has always been colder in the eyes of the Negro. And this is why many black folk that say, yeah, we made it. We got Trump up out of there. We made it. And you got a goddamn president that can't even walk up a fucking flight of stairs. Talk to me, folks. But this is who you chose. You see, these black folks who talk about being oppressed, these Negroes that make 100, you got, like I say, I know black couples that making upwards of $285,000 a year combined. Which means they are making over 6 figures by themselves and talking about they're oppressed. I had this black female preschool teacher talking about she feels oppressed. I said, chick, stop. I said, first off, you live in a gated community. You teach white children. White preschool, yeah, they're preschool, but a white woman has dropped her child off in the care of you, said black woman, to give instruction for the day. And you talking about you oppressed? You not only teach white children, you teach in a prestigious private academy ran by white folks. So don't sit here and say that you're oppressed. Then we began to talk about past relationships. I said, yeah, my ex-wife isn't black. She wasn't black. She said, I figured. I said, oh, what's that supposed to mean? Black men, all they want is white women. And then she went into this tirade about how black men, you know your usual suspects here on YouTube, the synthetics and the technical knockouts. You know who I'm talking about, the usual suspects, the peanut gallery. The same talking points, black men just pump and dump, move on to the next. This is what she's telling me. Now, one thing I look at when I see black women who do this, I say to myself, you're 35 years old, you're unmarried, no children. That's a red flag, especially in the South. So she began asking me very poignant. In other words, she was shit testing me, asking me, and I said, hey, I don't feel oppressed. And then. And I explained, she said, you should try to read you should try to read Malcolm X and see what he says. I said, look, I've read every Pan-Africanist, every pro-black, quote-unquote pro-black author that you can think of. I said, I've read the Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. I know about John Henry Lewis Clark. I know Dr. Amos Wilson. I've read Dr. Neely Fuller Jr.'s, a lot of his material. Woman, you can't tell me nothing. And then she came back and said, I hope you're all right. I don't know if this is going to work out. I said, okay, cool. And she said, have fun with your white women. Now, many of y'all know when I was married, my wife was Pacific Islander. But I didn't mention that to her. I let her do what Negroes do. Never the idea occurred to her that I was married to someone. When many black folks, and this is the catch, folks. And I'm gonna show you something. I'm about to throw the alley oop, and I'm about to slam. Someone's tossing me the alley oop. I'm coming off the wing, and I'm about to slam dunk this. And I'm gonna show you. I'm about to connect some serious dots to you right now. When black folks look at racism, they look at it in the terms of the hyena versus the lion. Now, the hyena and the lion are endless adversaries of one another. For thousands of years, the lion and the hyena have been mortal enemies. That's how black folks look at racism. They never think about, they just look in the terms of white and black. They never look in terms of an Asian, Pacific Islander, an Indian, an East Indian. And see, this logic with the Negro, always with that same thinking, only looking at white people and forgetting the supporting cast, which is the Indian, which is the Asian, which is the non-black person that comes from parts of Africa that tend to look down on the American Negro as well. But yet and because of that, follow the logic, and because of their inability to look, because the inability to forget those groups that hold, if not worse, more beliefs about the inferiority of the Negro, they take their eye off the ball because they have white man on the brain disease so bad. And for that failure to do so, for that failure of not being able to see other groups as just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, they choose to coexist and make coalitions with these people. And then when they get slapped upside the head, you're not white. Why are you treating me like this? How? Why when I go to the give me a pack of cigarettes, the Arab man just slams the cigarettes down me, doesn't even look at me, drakes the money off my hand, slams the change, doesn't even put it in my hand. Why? But he's not white. I'm confused. Yeah, of course, Negro. That's why. You only see racism and mistreatment through the eyes of white folks. Black folks look for relationships, coalitions, partners with people who don't give a damn about them. And this is why you're confused about this whole Asian thing. But you know what? I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, so she said to me, keep in mind, she just assumed my ex-wife was Caucasian. And I let her believe that because I know how the Negro thinks, even a Negro male. And she said, well, have fun with your white women. I said, you have fun working for them. She said to me, okay, yeah, blocked. And I went about my business. Because I know with her thinking, and let me just say this before I get back on George Floyd. And I was going to do a separate video, but many of y'all know me in the past. I've addressed, I was heavy in the trenches in this gender war. Black women, the reason why they're so upset, the peanut gallery, is because they can't do what we do. You had an Asian man years ago. You had an Asian man years ago tell the world that black women are the least desired. And I think he tried to back it up by science. But yet these same women tried to swirl and level up with the white guy and the Asian guy, as if they're powering up and doing something worse. Now, someone can jog my memory. Well, you sleeping with the oppressor. That's what this female also said as well, which I thought was ironic. Now, some of y'all correct me. Maybe I've left some. I can't recall a video in which a white woman has said, oh, I would never deal with the black man is the least desired. I don't know any video like that. However, I know countless videos of men of the dominant society and second tier, the Asian, who made countless videos saying how they would date any other woman except a black woman. And this is where the disgust and the side eye comes from the black woman, because she can't do what we do. She can't date anybody. She can't just date all types of people around the world. However, us as black men, or men in general, we can do that. Even the black woman is at the bottom in every facet in terms of dating. That is white women, Caucasian women. I would say she's down there with the Asian and the Indian man. But I would say she's below them. The Asian man and the East Indian man are right at the bottom with the black woman in terms of choice in this global marketplace, in terms of dating and sexuality. But the Asian man does not want her. The East Indian man damn sure does not want her. So that's where all this disdain and jealousy comes from, because they can't do what we do. That's it, in a nutshell. All the videos that they make, all the commentary, all the rhetoric and jargon, it really comes down their inability to do, their inability to do what we do. Tom is not, he's reluctant to bring Keisha to the Thanksgiving dinner. However, Jerome, he can go. Now, Jerome needs to conduct himself. And so long, and it's because he's a man. His gender is male. That's why he gets that pass, because he can defend himself. Most times when you got yourself somewhat squared away, because I've seen it, I've experienced it. When you have your stuff squared away and you talk like you got some sense and you present yourself, most families of other ethnic groups, they'll be like, and this token as it may sound, but nevertheless, you're seeing something different. Yeah, you're all right, man. And I'm not saying that to get a pat on the head. I'm just showing you the dichotomy, the difference. However, you can never, and I'm going to show you the threads, the comments that I read in those threads concerning, what's her name, Meghan Markle, the Queen and Prince Harry and all that. Them white women didn't give her no passes. They had 0 Fs about her situation. 0. However, us as men, we know how to coexist. We're not as finicky as women are. So a white woman infiltrating on the most powerful kingdom on the planet, these white women are in their feelings. Yeah. And that's just the reality. But I know I went off on a huge tangent. But back to George Floyd, like I said, um, this is why he confided in her. He sees not police authority, but white female authority. And she wasn't having it. And I've said this before, the white man knows the Negro. The white man knows your blood type. He knows what you look like on the inside, because many of you all, and I'm gonna show you, I read an article some time ago in which Johns Hopkins University, which is in Baltimore, they saw so many black bodies, like they just knew them inside out. Like they just, I mean, I can't describe verbatim what the article, but they was, for me reading that article told me that those white doctors and nurses could probably stitch together a Franken Negro, because they are so familiar with the insides and just the anatomy of the Negro, because of all the killings in Baltimore from other Negroes, of course. And I thought that was, and maybe that was just my wild imagination, but it makes you think. These white doctors who see you Negroes coming in every day, brains blown out, cut up, stabbed, they know you. They not only know what makes you tick, they literally know what makes you tick. They know the playbook. Kill black, riot, sing, back to business as usual. That's the Negro playbook. And it comes to a point to where we're looked at as a child. And every time, see, one thing about Negroes, you never want to be on the radar of people, society. And black folks are always in the mix. Black folks are always, the media always has black folks in their mouth. Now, to of late, the Asian has been on cruise control, and I've talked about Asians, how they just sit in the back, very passive, don't say shit. A lot of Asians don't like all this publicity that's going on. And for you Negroes that are saying this is for Asians, they're doing this because they're trying to get a voting block, Asians don't fucking vote, for the most part. They are not like that. They're about economics. They're the opposite of what we are. Put it that way. That's what an Asian is. Asians are the opposite of the Negro. Very quiet, very reserved, very calculating. And these aren't bad things. I'm just saying, it's preserved them. It's preserved it. It's allowed them to sell you cheap goods. It's allowed them to sell you manufactured, fake-ass Chinese food for the last 50 years. So obviously these aren't bad attributes to have, Negro. You fell for them. Those are some, I mean, those are some things that, you know, that are opposite. Us, we're loud, obnoxious, braggadocious. We're like a China in a bull. We're like a bull in a china shop. You can hear us coming. We sneak in the house. We tripping over shit, knocking shit down. The Asian is ironic, like a ninja. Very silent. Don't know his next move. Opposite of the Negro. Hence, they got the playbook. But yeah, to hear this grown man, this 6+ foot grown man crying for his crying Negro tears. White help me tears was ridiculous. And I've said, and I'm going to say this, for all you folks of saying painless, this man is dead. And people who saying, and I'm going to end it here. For all you people saying painless, this man is dead, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead. And for all you people saying that all the things that he's done, that means George Floyd, has done, his criminal record should be left out. He's dead. What's in the past? Well, Negro, and I'm going to show you another flawed placement of the Negro logic. You say George Floyd's criminal record, all the misdeeds he has done, he did, because again, he's no longer with us. Thank you for reminding me. Should be inadmissible. In other words, what's done is done. Well, Negro, why is it when you bring shit up about white folks and Andrew Jackson, the sedation actor, blase, and the Indians, King Leopold, he killed millions of Congolese. Oh, George Washington owned slaves. But those men are dead. Oh, we need to take down Robert E. Lee. We need to take down this statue. Why, Negro? Because they had slaves, and I'm offended, even though I've never been a slave. But they're dead. So, by your logic, Negro, if we can't admit George Floyd's flaws and misdeeds, then why are you bringing up Robert E. Lee's? Why are you bringing up George Washington? Negro? I mean, if we're going to be fair, let's be fair. But see, we all know why. We all know why. See, it becomes blatant disingenuousness. And I've said this, like we're looked at as children. When you lack the inability to use logic and see obvious logic in which I just explained. I gave clear, concise examples of the flawed logic in the so-called black community in the United States of America. I mean, I can't get more succinct than that, Negro. If you can't understand what I just explained, then I have no hope. There's no hope. But with that is childlike. When you can't comprehend simple logic like that, that is childlike. And people will treat you accordingly. Oh, it's time to, I don't want to eat that, but you need to eat. I don't want to eat. I want that. No, you can't have that. That's not good for you. I don't care. I want it. That's how the Negro is being viewed here in America. I know if I see it, they damn sure see it. But I digress. But yeah, it's sad, boy. Ooh, when I saw that video of that big old buck crying, I mean crying, and that white female cop said, "Come on, get out," as if, ooh, my goodness. Peace.